Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is the Quick 3 Tarot for Monday, September the 19th. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right, so the general readings for October are up. I did all of the general readings for every single sign this past weekend. Libra, if you are a Libra, you received a bonus, a birthday bonus reading in addition to your general reading. My goal is to work on the love readings this coming weekend. I bought a new erotic oracle deck and I bought a new tarot deck. Both of those love decks. So I will more than likely use those for the love readings. And of course, since October is considered Libra season, Libra, you will receive a birthday bonus love reading as well when I do those. The deck that I used for the general readings was this custom deck. I had so much fun with this deck. I was like, I'm going to use this deck again for the Quick 3 Tarot. So yeah, here we are. With whatever reading you decide to watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now that I said that, let's go ahead and get into the reading. May I have the energy for the collective for Monday, September the 19th. May I have the energy for the collective for Monday, September the 19th. May I have the energy for the collective for Monday, September the 19th. What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Totally random. Somebody might be receiving some unexpected money. And I'm not talking about like millions of dollars. I'm not saying all that. I'm just talking about like maybe $500 to $1,000. So again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That just came to mind. But yeah, all right. So this is my quotes deck, quotes from anybody and everybody. So we're going to see what this is. I'm not going to clarify these with the tarot card. I'm just going to give you the energy is what I will do. I'll read the quotes and then give you the energy. Thank you. Whoa, that jumped out. Okay. Set that down. May I have 2 more cards, please? And also, thank you to everyone who's been supporting the podcast. Thank you. Another card came out. I really appreciate all the listenership. Like, the listenership on the podcast has been steady and strong, and I appreciate all of you for that. Also, I appreciate all the people on watching the YouTube videos as well. So I appreciate that too. And don't forget, if any of this stuff ever resonates with you, you probably want to subscribe and all that other jazzy stuff and share the podcast and everything else. So, this came out during someone's reading, during the general reading. At the bottom of the deck it says, if you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Steve Jobs. So if you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Something I just heard while reading that is that someone needs to make a decision. My nose is itching. Excuse me. Someone needs to make a decision. It's like, do you want this or do you not want this? And I feel like for somebody, they may have thought they wanted something, but as they've been going through the motions, as in executing whatever it is that they think that they want, I feel someone may have found out, I'm not sure I want this. It's almost like when someone goes to school. You know how people change their majors all the time? Because I changed my major like 3 or 4 times. And you get to school and you're like, oh, I want to be an engineer. Then you start doing the stuff and it's like, I don't have any passion for this that I thought I had. Like, this isn't my thing. I would prefer to do something that I would feel more fulfilled. And then you switch from like engineering to teaching, or from engineering to legal or whatever. You may want to become an attorney instead of an engineer because you may have more passion for it. I feel like for some of you, you're figuring out that you don't want something that you thought you wanted. Because like this is saying, if you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Okay? So take what resonates, leave what doesn't on that. Let me turn these 3 cards over and see what we get. That came out. All of these came out. This is some of the same energy is what this is, but for the collective. All of these cards, and mind you, there's 80 cards in this deck. These 3 cards came out during different readings. So, clearly someone needs to hear it. First card, it says, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. So, and that's by Franklin D. Roosevelt. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and then hang on. So, yeah, Franklin D. Roosevelt. And for this, some of you might feel like you're at the end of the rope. And what this is saying is where you want to let go. And now that song's playing through my head. If you get a chance, listen to is Kurt Carr and I think the Kurt Carr Singers. What is the name of that? Give me 1 second. Luckily it's like I held on because you wouldn't let go or something like that. Give me 1 second. I'm like searching it now because I listened to the song. I can't believe I don't know the name of the song. Okay, Kurt Carr. Let's see what comes up. Okay, the name of the song is I Almost Let Go. If you ever get a chance, listen to that. It's by Kurt, K-U-R-T, last name Carr. C-A-R-R. Carr. C-A-R-R. So Kurt Carr. The name of the song is I Almost Let Go. Listen to that song when you get a chance. Because when you get to the end of your rope, it's almost like you just want to let go because you're like, I don't have any more rope. But what this is telling you is like, no, don't let go. Tie it in a knot, grab onto it and hang on. Hang on to it for dear life. Don't give up and don't let go. All right? And then the second card that came out, and this card came out a lot during the readings, in multiple readings. It says, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. And that is by Oprah Winfrey. So yeah, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. And that's more of on the law of attraction. The one thing that I can tell you, don't necessarily be concerned about what other people have. Don't get caught up in what you don't have. Just because you don't have it now doesn't mean you won't have it later. It's not in the present. But if you're focusing on what you don't have, then more than likely you'll bring in that energy of don't have, and you won't have other things. Or you'll stay stuck in the energy of don't have, and stuff won't be able to come to you. So focus on what you do have, because I promise you, if you were to look at what you have, you would see that you have a whole lot more than a lot of people. I've seen so many things of people not having water, clean water to drink. I mean, that situation going on over in, I believe it was Mississippi, and also I think it was happening in Tennessee too, in certain parts, but in Memphis. But you may have clean water. You may have a roof over your head. You may have food in your stomach. There's people on this planet who don't have those basic things of food, water, a roof over their head. Some people don't have air conditioning. Millions of people die every year because of no air conditioning in certain countries. So just keep things like that in mind where you're like, oh, I don't have, the new, pick whatever car, that type of stuff. Or, oh, I don't have the big house. Or, oh, I don't have the loving husband or the loving wife or the sexy boyfriend or whatever you are focusing on that you don't have. Don't focus on that. Focus on what you do have. If you're in good health, be thankful for that. Even if you're not in good health, if you're still breathing, be thankful for that. Because if you're still breathing, you may have a chance to improve your health. So, Yeah, it's just find things to be thankful for. Be thankful for what you have. All right. And then the final card, it says, morality is not the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but of how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness. And this is by Immanuel Kant. By Immanuel Kant. Again, morality is not the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but of how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness. So with this, one thing that I can tell you, and this is kind of the message here that I'm getting now as we're closing this out. I'm hearing, don't compromise your beliefs. I don't think I'm going to title this that, but that's kind of the message. Don't compromise your beliefs. I think I'll end up titling this message, hang on tight, or tightly, because hang on tightly to your beliefs. Something along those lines, or hang on to your beliefs. Because I feel some of you there's something that's shaky about your beliefs or how you view life. And this came up in someone's reading. I forgot whose it was, but it was more in the energy of, well, I've been the good guy for so long and it hasn't really gotten me anywhere. Should I approach life differently and maybe be the bad guy? Because that particular reading that I did, the energy I was picking up is that individual or maybe individuals felt they didn't have anything to lose anyway because they weren't winning as playing the good guy. So yeah, hang on to your beliefs. Don't let the world jade you when it comes to your beliefs. Don't become jaded by experiences in the world. The experiences happen for a reason. They come into your life to teach you things. And when you learn the lesson, you can take that knowledge and then apply it to whatever situation you encounter in the future. And you don't have to be all happy and bubbly and let's be friends and all this other stuff. I'm not saying that. You can be open and loving, but also you can be cautious too. And also you can set boundaries. That is your right as a human being, to set boundaries with people. We all have free will. So keep that in mind. But hang on to your beliefs. Don't compromise your beliefs. All right? So that is your message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.